On June 6th, NATO announced that its Forward Land Forces, or FLF Finland, Multinational Battlegroup has been officially established. As we've reported over the past year, the unit is led by framework nation Sweden, which will be joined by several other European allies. We take a closer look at this exciting news while also reviewing some basic FLF Finland details for today's video. And so June 6th was the official beginning to FLF Finland operations. US Air Force General Alexis G. Grunkowicz, Supreme Allied Commander Europe, was quoted as saying, "This region is one of the most strategically significant and environmentally challenging areas in the world. FLF Finland, just like Arctic Sentry, will leverage NATO's strength to defend our territory and ensure the Arctic and High North remain secure, especially considering Russia's military activity and China's growing interest there." The NATO press release continues by saying that the establishment of FLF Finland places a Swedish battle group based in Boden, Sweden, as well as a multinational staff element in Rovaniemi, Finland. Both of these elements are placed under the command of the aforementioned Supreme Allied Commander Europe and the NATO alliance. The Ministry of Defence of Finland explains that the core of FLF Finland will be a Swedish battalion-sized battle group of around 600 highly trained soldiers with an ability for rapid transfer from their base in Boden to Finland. In the future, the total strength of FLF Finland will be of a brigade size, and the scale-up from a battalion-sized battle group to a brigade-size unit will be exercised regularly. Finland's Minister of Defence, Antti Haakanen, explained that, like NATO's other forward land forces, FLF Finland has been designed for operations in specific geographical environments and for response to specific threats. He adds that, in practice, FLF Finland will strengthen NATO's deterrence and defence in the High North by providing forces specialised on Arctic conditions, reinforcing the security of Finland and neighbouring regions. At the same time, the multinational unit will provide opportunities for allies to exercise land warfare in Arctic conditions. And so, when it comes to the basic background of this new unit, the decision to establish FLF Finland was made in 2024 by NATO heads of state and government at the Washington summit. The unit is in the area of responsibility of Joint Force Command, or JFC Norfolk, which is one of NATO's 3 Joint Force Commands. What we found interesting about the NATO press release is that there was no mention of other nations that had signed on to be part of this FLF. The announcement on the NATO side also lacked some of the details made available by other sources. At the same time, the Finnish Defence Ministry's official press release on this topic does mention other nations, listing the United Kingdom, France, Italy, Norway, Denmark and Iceland as participants in the development of FLF Finland. We've covered it in previous videos, but if you need reminding, the other NATO forward land forces are in Bulgaria, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania and Slovakia. Indeed, the early videos on this YouTube channel have tried to explain the FLF units of the Baltic countries with quite a bit of detail, so we hope you'll check out some of that content after this. Now, one big difference between FLF Finland and the FLFs already established is that troops won't be deployed on 4 to 6 month rotations, as with other units. For those other FLFs, troops are sent from their respective home nations and live and train on NATO's eastern flank for several months before rotating out to be replaced by a fresh deployment. With FLF Finland, it's our understanding that troops will more or less stay in their home nations and will only deploy for exercises and training. With Boden, Sweden and Rovaniemi, Finland not being too far away from each other, it makes some sense. However, troops from Denmark, the UK and beyond won't get as much exposure to operating in the FLF's area of responsibility in the same way other troops of other FLFs would. In the case of Norway, well, we suppose if troops from the country's new Finnmark Brigade were assigned to FLF Finland, that would be a good fit. But there you have it. FLF Finland is officially established, and the wider area around Boden and Rovaniemi will get a little busier at some times of the year due to forces coming to train. What do you think of this NATO unit's establishment? Let us know by leaving a comment.